Good evening, everybody. It is that time once again. It is Thursday evening, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's time for Treasure Tales. We got a really good show lined up for you tonight. I think you're going to love these people that we have as guests tonight. They're all just really, really fine people, and I think you're going to learn a lot from them. And if not, you'll learn a lot about them. And that's what it's all about in this wonderful hobby we call treasure hunting, which takes on just a myriad of avenues, so to speak. It's wonderful to learn how all of your friends in this hobby go about their treasure hunting, how they set up their equipment, what equipment they use, where their mindset is, this type of thing. And it's all really, really interesting. And we here at Treasure Tales are trying to bring you various avenues of treasure hunting. As we say here, treasure is as treasure does. And it all kind of incorporates in with the Blue Spade Society. As you can see, there's my Blue Spade Society shirt. The Blue Spade Society being the group that I started in honor of my brother from another mother, John David, who has a disability, and he is a killer detectorist. As a matter of fact, he's the new Nocta Macro Legend owner. And in spite of his disabilities, he gets out there and he gets it done. So my other brother from another mother, the Mumbles man, Tim Naylor, and I decided we were going to do this Blue Spade Society. So then I started this group. And it's for people with disabilities. And disabilities take on just many, many, many different forms. And so that's why we want to bring you a lot of different avenues of treasure hunting. Maybe you have, all right, for instance, the Diggin Canuck, another really good friend of mine. She has equilibrium problems. I forget what the name of it is, but she loses her balance. And that's a disability. You can't work, or a lot of times do many things because you have that disability, or you may have PTSD from a very stressful job. There's a number of people like that. There's all kinds of various disabilities. It doesn't have to be losing a limb or being crippled or lame or anything like that. So what we're trying to do is to bring you various avenues, whether it be metal detecting, coin roll hunting, arrowhead hunting. Magnet fishing is huge. There's geocaking. We're starting to get into that. Rock hounding, we're getting into that. We have some guests lined up for that. There's just all kinds of different avenues of treasure hunting that will lift people's spirits. A lot of times when people are disabled and they figure, well, my life is pretty much over, I can't do what I used to really like to do. Well, maybe you find something else that gets you out of the house, gets you up off the couch, gives you another reason to use the old brain, get out there and just have some fun. For instance, like magnet fishing, for instance, maybe if you are a war veteran and you lost your legs in the war and are wheelchair bound, well, possibly you can't metal detect because you can't get out there and swing the detector, but you can certainly roll yourself out on a bridge or something like that and toss a magnet, and you can find a lot of really good stuff with a magnet. So we have got, some magnet fishers coming in. We've had a few on the show, and just to tell you more about it, so to speak, and to get acquainted with them and the things they do, and how they go about it. So maybe you just get up off the couch, get out there, and get it done. There's, like I said, there's just a myriad of disabilities that a person can have, and that's why we created the Blue Spade Society. I'd like for you to join the Blue Spade Society. We have our own Facebook group. If you are a Facebooker, go over there and please join the Blue Spade Society. Look it up just under the Blue Spade Society. Now, you don't have to be disabled. Perhaps you'd like to be a mentor to help somebody with a disability. And there's various ways to mentor as well. Just explaining something. It won't cost you anything. Um, that type of thing, explaining and telling people about the hobby and that kind of thing, answering questions, maybe steering them in the right direction. So there's lots of ways to help, and it'll make you feel better, and you never know, you just might change somebody's life. So that's the reason for the Blue Spade Society, and we have a lot of good things happening over there. It just takes some time, with a lot of the guests that we're going to have on, and I have certain people that I like to have as co-hosts for Treasure Tales, and you've been seeing them right along, and you will see more of them, I think. So we like to have a really good time here. It's just very informal, chit chat, like we're sitting in our living room having a drink and just talking to each other. And that's what we like to do here at Treasure Tales. It's talking to each other and getting to know each other. So I tell you what, let's go ahead. Now, I've been blathering on here for a few minutes, but let's bring on our co-host for the evening. You've seen them before, and you will see them again. I promise you that. Uh, Ronnie and Tiffany from Pacific Northwest Dirt Fishing. So let's bring them on and see how they're doing tonight. Hello, people.
Hi. How are you?
I'm pretty good for the shape I'm in. What's going on?
Just staying busy.
Today,
that's good.
Today
That's
it was
good.
sunny, so it was a good day today.
Good. You can tell us about it here, but let's say hello to the people that are in our chat right away here. So we got Andrew T. Good evening, Andrew. Glad you're here. Maria Reese. Hey, Maria, how are you? The Mumbles Man, my brother from another mother, is with us tonight. Hey, Mumbles. Metal Sharxs, yes, they are in the house. And let's see, Diggin, Florida with Bill Gross. Glad that you are with us tonight. And let's see, Robert Ridgway from Pinellas Park. Hello, Robert, how are you? And Jamie Holt, another legendary legend winner, or soon to be a legend, or working on legendism. Isn't that right, Cliff?
She's trying.
And then we have Tom Becker from Ohio. Tom, how are you? Mike Mayo. Hi, Mike. Give a big hello to Trish. And tell her we said hello. We're glad that you're here. Team Lynch, glad that you are in the house tonight. And my sister from another mister, the Diggin' Canuck, her own self, is in the house. That always makes me happy. My brother from another mother, my partner in crime, and all kinds of other good stuff. Phil, the Guru Myers, is in the house. Let's see. Who else is in the house? Oh, I'm probably going to. Eric Schaefer, glad that you're here tonight, Eric. Essex Metal Detectors, Terry, he was here last week. You talk about a wild and crazy guy. He is a wild and crazy guy, but he's a great fella. We were awful glad that he stayed up till all hours of the morning to be with us. That was nice, I thought. Oh, let's see who else is joining us in the chat. A lot of people in the chat that John Long Silver Rails. Hello. Rainy North Florida. Indeed it is. Rainy North Florida. Mark Watrous, how are you, man? Good to see you. And Gary Kerr. Hey, Gary. Glad that you joined us tonight. And let's see who else is in the house here. John Ellerman. That's a new name. Glad that you joined us from Orlando, Florida. And Bill from Texas is in the house. And let's see. And I think we have come to the end of the chat As people join, why we will recognize them. So tell us about what happened today, Miss Tiffany.
Oh goodness. So today, so Ronnie is unable to currently hunt. He has a doctor's appointment coming up very soon, and they're going to fix his feet. So I took the legendary Jamie to the beach today,
Uh-huh.
and we're really sanded in, but she did a great job. I found just one coin. We're not sure what it is, but I also taught Jamie to swing with both hands because her arm was tired, and so she's really making an effort to like get everything.
Oh, you remember last week, Tiff, when we had Terry right on, and
Yeah,
I kept calling them. We both did. Kept calling them calling them Essex magnet fishers.
and it's
Well, I
hunter.
just called them Essex magnet detectors tonight. So he just told me, he says, first you call us Essex magnet fishers last week, then tonight Essex magnet detectors. I'm not the only crazy one. You're right, Terry. I'm a Looney Tune.
Oh,
I mean, I am a loony tune-a-rooney. It's Essex magnet hunters.
he encompasses all of it.
Yeah, that's right. And you got to check out that channel, that YouTube channel. It's a killer channel, and they do a lot of really, really great work,
Right, right.
outstanding work.
So yeah, we just went to the beach. Not much happening. Tourists are starting to come, so that's good news. It looks like it's kind of picking up here, and people are starting to come, and no masks and families, so starting to look normal here.
Well, that'll be good. And at least maybe you stop pouring rain on you so you can get out there and do a little hunting. I know
Right,
you guys have got that one cottage you're doing for the museum
right, right.
and a bunch of other stuff. You guys still got that one, what is it, 30 or 40 acre area that you haven't even touched?
Yeah, so we have quite a few that we're still. So one property that we're permissioned on is an 8 acres, and it backs up to an area where Jamie found the barbadine. So we
Mm-hmm.
were to go and get started. Well, there's a herd of elk, and so the only direction the elk have to go currently is down right through the middle. And so if something came and spooked the entire herd, it would be dangerous for us to be down there. So we're waiting for them to move on a little bit. And so then we can get in there. And then the other is just way too wet right now. So
Well, good.
yeah, so we have some
Who
great
knows?
things.
Who knows what you will find?
I know. And exciting news, our last exciting news, because we just found out about it. The Cannon Beach History Center and Museum is now open full time, and they have dedicated a 2-year exhibit to Pacific Northwest dirt fishing and all of the finds that we've turned in.
Woot,
So
woot, woot,
it
woot,
opens
woot,
in September.
woot, woot, woot.
Yeah,
I tell you
yeah.
what, I didn't know I had some celebrities on here.
So we're pretty excited about it. We'll have our own area, and yeah, so we've got some really exciting things coming with that too.
Well, good. We'll fill that museum up, kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we ought to have our first guest come on. We're burning daylight here.
Right.
And really a nice young man, the J Man from Metal Sharks. They hunt together as a family for a lot of the times. I know his dad, John Long Silver, is hunting with them, and the J Man, they hunt all over. I think they used to live in North Florida, and I think the J Man just moved over near St. Augustine, I think. So he's pretty much a full time beach hunter now. But
Oh,
let's go ahead and let's bring on Jamie Herzog from Metal Sharks. Now, that's a channel y'all need to check out. Go right now, YouTube, Metal Sharks, SARX. And subscribe, like, and share those videos. You'll be glad you did. So let's bring on the J-Man.
I love it, J-Man.
Hey, Jen. Hey, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yep,
Yes.
everything's good. Everything's good.
All right. It's a
So-
real neat honor to be here. So I'm really grateful and looking forward to tonight.
Well, it's going to be a good time because you guys have done a tremendous job with your YouTube channel, with your method of hunting. And isn't it wonderful, Jamie, that you can hunt with John Long Silver, even though he gets in the way at times, doesn't he? You know?
It is really a lot of fun to hunt with my dad. I couldn't have done this channel without my dad, and I also have some siblings who have been involved, and so
I've seen those. I've seen them. Yeah,
It's already a great hobby to begin with because you can't beat the fresh air and exercise, but to have different close family members that you can do it with means the world to me, and it's super fun for sure. And
well, those are the memories you'll have, Jamie, when and later in life is getting to spend that time, and it's very much quality time. I think that you were spending with your dad and your other siblings, in the times that you guys are hunting together, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's quality time and memories we're building together. And when we get out to the beach, my dad, he's in his 70s now. And so he's kind of an inspiration because he's still going strong in his 70s. And sometimes you have to think out of the box a little bit. So he's swinging the Equinox 800, and I'm swinging the Equinox 600 mostly these days. But when we're out there together, I have this heavy duty silver beach scoop with a red handle that I got from Myers, by the way. And then also my dad has a special modified scoop. It's a Remco hygienic shovel. So we made a video about how to take this shovel that's normally used for the restaurant industry, maybe shoveling ice or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you can cut it with a saw and then drill holes in it. And then my dad doesn't have to get up and down when he finds the targets. He mostly searches, in the towel line or the foot of the dunes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
that's a good place to hunt. And the thing about your dad is he don't move fast, but he is thorough. So that's probably the best place he could choose to hunt is in the towel line.
Yes.
Where you don't have to dodge the waves and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because those can be hard on a body.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we've both been able to find good things in the dry sand lately because it kind of started last fall when I was able to find a class ring. And it was my first class ring, and I could show you. See if.
Oh, yeah. Cool. That is cool.
Oh.
Yeah, that's 10
that's
carat.
That's one.
It's made by the Johnston's Ring Company, 10 karat gold. And I found that in the Daytona Beach area. So that was kind of an interesting time when I was going out in December. And I went to meet a friend there who's kind of new to the hobby. And he had an Ace, kind of an entry-level Garrett Ace machine. So I was trying to teach him what I knew a little bit about beach hunting, but also he was inspiring me. His friend named Mike, and I met him through the Mid-Florida Metal Detecting Club, which is a really active club in my area.
Yeah, that's a good club.
So Mike and I went out there in December. We cleared our calendars for a Sunday and got out there 2 hours before low tide. And we tried the surf, and we're just getting some coins and things. So then I went up and above the towel line, and that's where I found that ring. And so that was really exciting, really gets your adrenaline going. Yeah. And I'm trying to think, how do this has got to have it has some actual value of the gold, of course, but the real value is the sentimental value for the person who lost it.
Yeah.
Right.
Lewis College, founded in 1930. So I went online, and there's like 4 different Lewis colleges. So that was kind of tricky to figure out which Lewis college it was. So I went to a TV station. I went to a Lost and Found website, and I went to another metal detecting club, and they helped me figure out which Lewis college it was. It's one up in Illinois, and they've contacted the alumni database, but so far we haven't found the owner. We're still trying.
Wow.
Well, I saw a thing on Facebook today, Jamie. Somebody put a post, and I forget where it was, but it was about a class ring they lost a couple of years ago on Daytona Beach.
Huh.
And and nobody'd ever tried to get a hold of them. Now, it could be, could not be. It's
Yeah.
kind of doubtful if it was lost 2 years ago. But well, when you think about it, you think about Daytona Beach. If they were out swimming, it could have been 2 years ago when it was lost and got brought in.
Right.
So for you to find it. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and see if I could research that post and see if they could identify it or anything like that. But
Yeah, that would be good, because I would like to figure that out. I'll try to look for that too, because I don't want to give away the class year, but it was between 50 and 70 years ago that the class graduated up in Illinois.
oh
So
well, yeah.
the rightful person can come forward and they'll be able to name what class year it was.
Wow.
What kind of condition was it in when you found it?
It was in great condition. It had just a little bit of sand behind the stone. It has this beautiful multifaceted red stone in it, which I'm not sure if that's a garnet or something else. But it's in great shape, and I contacted the Jostin Ring Company, and they said I could ship it to them, and they could try to help find the person, but if they never do, then they would just keep the ring. So I didn't really want to do that.
that wouldn't be an option.
No.
He's like, no, don't do it.
I'd rather find the person myself, if I could.
Yeah,
Right.
and you will just keep plugging along, and you will.
Right.
It should have the initials on it.
It does have an initial on the inner band, but it's really faint because I think a little of the sand and wave action over the years wore down the initials, but I think there's one in there. So if I get a powerful loop, maybe I could figure it out a little better.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I remember when we had Brad from Green Mountain on, and he does phenomenal research, and he uses newspapers.com. And I do know, because I went in and looked at some of it, they do have graduation lists from way back. So maybe if you could see the initials, you might be able to go back in newspapers.com and narrow it down with the name.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about this hobby is it's such a great community. So sometimes you can't figure it out yourself, then somebody will come up with a tip sooner or later. Like I didn't know which Lewis College it was. There was one in Colorado and one in Illinois and a couple of other ones in the U.S. But a lady from the Daytona Metal Detecting Club helped me figure it out based on there was a logo of a church on the side of the ring, and there's the letter M on another side with kind of wings behind it. So based on some of the characteristics of the ring, she helped me figure out it was a Catholic college in Romeoville, Illinois.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that would, and possibly the owner is passed on. That's very possible, being from that, 50 to 75 years ago. It's extremely possible. But I hope that you find it, and I know you'll keep plugging away until you do. Yes. So tell us a little bit more about you, your family, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I'm from a large family. I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters, so 9 of us total. And so growing up, my dad said he really always wanted to have a large family, and he was willing to forego certain material things, because he just enjoyed having a family he could do things with. And actually, he when I was really young, we spent a lot of hobby time together collecting toy trains, Lionel toy trains, and operating those. And my dad is in the chat tonight. He has a YouTube channel called John Long's Silver Rails. And so I actually help him sometimes with that channel, but it's a lot of fun. That's something else we do together, another hobby that we've done since I was a boy. But beyond my dad, I also have a younger brother who we gave the nickname the Silver Stingray, because he uses a Mine Lab Excalibur 2. And he finds lots of silver rings and even gold rings in the surf with it. Yeah. Then I have another sibling who's a younger sister we call Seagal. And one time he actually found a capsule at St. George Island. Oh. And so she found a treasure capsule that a family had left there about 20 years ago. and they meant to find it much sooner. It was kind of like an activity they were doing as a family. And so we've had a lot of fun, my family and I, with this hobby, and I'm trying to get my own immediate family into it. I have 2 sons, one who's 19 and one who's 17. And the younger one likes the hobby a little bit, but so far I haven't been able to get him on a hot spot, so to speak. Like I took him down to a local beach and all he found were tin cans, unfortunately.
Yeah, that happens. And at that age, Jamie, their attention span is concentrating on other things, normally females.
Yeah, the one thing
but you
about
tell him there's a lot of women metal detecting.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the one thing about my 17-year-old is he does like some of the things I found. Like I found this Italian men's necklace, silver necklace, a couple summers ago, and that was near Ponte Vedra Beach. And then I also found a stainless silver bracelet there, and the two go really well together. So it's benefiting. Some guys bring stuff home for their wives, but I bring stuff home for my 17-year-old son.
Gotta get him blinged out, you know.
You could get, are you married? You could get your spouse into it, and then
Yes.
and then she'll take your stuff for her and her stuff.
Yeah. My wife has gone with me a few times, so I'm hoping maybe she'll come around and enjoy the hobby too one of these days, especially if she could meet some of the different people I know in the hobby. Like I think Jeff is going to have Clark's Cove metal detecting. Robert and Melissa is a guest on the show.
Yeah.
And I met them at a organized hunt called Florida Hunt 7, and it was a hoot to go out there and meet people like them there. I think they're from West Virginia or North Carolina. I'm not sure which.
Right.
I think they're North Carolina, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but we're fixing to find out when they're on. There's a lot of people that, you know, you met. I remember I was at Florida Hunt 7. I wasn't able to make Florida Hunt 8, but, you know, you met the Diggin Frasers, Art and Rose Fraser. And just, you know, fine people, and just a myriad of people that were there. And that's like we always say, it's not the treasures that you find, it's the treasures that you meet when you go to these hunts. You know, people that you'll be friends with, you know, for the rest of your life. So, I mean, that's the way it works for you and Ronnie, isn't it, Tiffany?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing that I love, like today, you know, we were on the beach and it was just Jamie and I. And the thing that I find fantastic is people have been kind of sheltered for so long now that people are so interested in what we're doing in a kind way, in an inquisitive way. And so people are super friendly right now because they've been, you know, I think maybe shut in a little long. And so right now is a fantastic time to go because everybody, even the tourists that, you know, have an agenda, they're interested in what you're doing. So it might be a good time to take her.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
You've got questions, don't you, Tiff?
I do. Well, he's answered a couple. So I was going to ask you about what type of detector you swing, but you said you swing a 600.
Yes.
Which is what Tiffany swings.
That's what I swing.
Yeah.
She got hers all girlied up with green stuff on it and stuff. You know.
Green. Mine's green. It's got a name. So yeah, mine stands out. And then
so what's your weirdest thing you've ever found on the beach?
Oh yeah.
That's a good question. Let me think about that for a minute. I think one thing that I can't think off the top is something really weird, but I have found things that were really kind of inspiring. Like you know, in Florida, hurricane season is really a way of life. And so you have to take hurricane season pretty seriously. And back in 2018, we had this terrible Hurricane Michael that really ravaged the panhandle of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It really devastated Panama City and Mexico Beach and different places like that.
And covered up St. George Island.
Yeah, my family and I really like going to St. George Island. And so after Michael damaged the state park there, I kept checking every couple of weeks to see when it would open back up. And it wasn't until several months after Hurricane Michael came in October of 18. So it was about April of 2019. We went detecting at St. George Island State Park. And you find weird things sometimes. I found like a nozzle to a hose. Like, oh, this isn't too exciting. But then a few seconds later, I found something else that looked kind of like that, but it was actually something really good. So this is what it was. And
Uh-huh.
basically, this is a 50 caliber machine gun shell casing.
Yep.
And it's believed to be from training that was done for World War II.
Oh,
The
They
brave
did
Army
that
and
at St.
Navy.
George and Carabel Beach.
Yes, the brave Army and Navy troops that got ready, the sailors and the soldiers that got ready for Normandy, the invasion at D-Day, and then others that got ready to go to the Philippines and do landings there. But they did a lot of training in the mid 40s at Camp Gordon Johnston in
Mhm.
Carabel Beach. And then they were doing some amphibious training exercises at St. George Island. So I remember reading a book a few years ago that said back in the day, in the 50s, you could find shell casings like that and other spent ammunition all over the beach, up and down. But now, the sands have shifted and the dunes have built up. So unless there's a hurricane, it's a lot harder to find something like that.
Well, you find more of that stuff though, Jamie, down in the state park because of the configuration of the beach. That's where they did most of the landing craft training because it's a little shallower farther out. You get up on the main beach, St. George Island, it kind of goes down like this, so it doesn't lend itself as much for the landing craft. But there's all kinds of stuff there.
Yeah, because in Florida, we didn't have as much Civil War activity as a lot of other states like Virginia or North Carolina, but we did have a lot of training for World War II. So I think that's an area that is a great area for detectorists to look into, because I know there are other parts of the state where they did similar training exercises, and it could be a lot of fun to research that and find relics from what they did. Like at Camp Gordon Johnson, at one point, the famous General Omar Bradley was the commanding officer there. And he famously said that the guy that selected this site should be court-martialed for stupidity. Basically, that part of Florida is there's so many bugs there, and there's so many snakes.
It's a little buggy, especially at Carabel Beach because you're in the bay.
Yes.
Where you don't necessarily have the beach breezes that you do on St. George Island. And the bay's a little brackish, and so it does, and you get more standing water on the beach areas, so lots of buggies.
Yeah, you get no-see-ums, and you get sand squirrels, and you get mosquitoes and all those pests.
And black flies and all kinds of stuff, Yeah, so we never did get to hunt St. George Island together, but both of us have hunted it numerous times. We always tried to get together. We just couldn't seem to get it worked out. But that's, we ain't dead yet.
No.
So you never know what'll happen. So what's in store for Jamie, the J-Man, and the Metal Sharxs?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Jeff. And one thing that we have going on right now is we're inching up to 900 subscribers. So we have a giveaway that's active. If anybody's interested in that, we're giving away some silver coins and some channel stickers and some pennies that celebrate the life of President Lincoln.
Oh,
So it should be a nice giveaway for people, and there haven't been too many people that have made comments yet. So there's still a lot of chances to get in on it.
Well, they're going to get there because these people here, everybody in the chat, if you are not, or everybody watching, if you're not subscribed to Metal Sharxs, METALSHARX, go subscribe to Metal Sharxs, like it, and share some of their videos. You're going to be very glad you did, because not only does Jamie and his family do killer beach detecting and some dirt digging, it's also educates you on true history of the areas that they hunt. And there's not a lot of people that do that. So do yourself a favor, subscribe to Metal Sharxs.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. And I'm hoping I can get down. I have family down in Melbourne Beach, so I always love going down that way. And also, I know they did some World War II training down south of there. So I want to research that some more. So that's probably one of the next things I'll be doing and really looking
forward. You'll be down there finding 1715 fleet stuff.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Well,
keep trying for that too.
if you guys ever come
So-
to the West Coast, we're in Oregon, so you can come this direction and hunt our beaches.
Yeah, that would be good. I did try a beach out. I have family out in California, so I tried Santa Monica, California once, and I took this MindLab Go Find with me. It's easy to pack up on the airplane,
Mhm.
and that worked out just fine.
Oh, good.
Well,
Good.
good,
We're
good.
a little colder.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, if before we go for the evening, what's one thing that you would like everybody to know about you and Metal Sharks?
Well, I guess one thing I was wanting to mention was it takes a lot of perseverance to be a part of this hobby and don't compare yourself to what other people are finding. You know, here in Florida, I was talking about how Civil War relics can be a little bit harder to find. But long story short, I'd gone to the Florida Hunt series 3 years in a row. In 2 years, I found kind of cool stuff, but nothing earth shattering. Like I found some pretty old shotgun head stamps from the late 1800s. And this Israeli coin from the 1960s that maybe a veteran had lost on a property that does therapy for veterans that they were detecting. But this year I was able to go and I was able to find my first believed to be Civil War relic. Just briefly, I want to show this. It's a socket bayonet. So I think
Very cool.
it's hard to get it on the camera just right, but
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
an Enfield socket bayonet and probably dates from around 1853. And so this one is 12 inches long. Normally they're probably about 8 inches long, but I think part of it was broken off over the years. And I was able to find that, after about 4 or 5 years of detecting, just out of the blue, finally got a Civil War relic. So you just got to keep going, keep swinging. You might be just, moments away from the next really cool find that's on your bucket list.
Right.
That's right. You never can tell. Well,
So
Jamie,
true.
we are just as ecstatic that you were able to take time out of your busy day to join us tonight and let these people meet you, find out a little bit more about you and what you do and how you go about things. And I think that you're going to get a lot of subscribers because you're just a wonderful fella. Your whole family are just wonderful people. You're the type of people that think about other people before you think about yourself. And there's a lot more of that needed in this world today. And you epitomize that. And we want to say thank you for that. And we want to say thank you for coming on and telling us your treasure tale tonight.
Sure thing. I enjoyed it. It went by super fast, but
It does.
so long, everybody, and I'll see you around.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. Bye-bye.
It does. It goes by so quick. That's what you think. I mean, you think and then it's over.
Yeah, it happens very, very quickly, doesn't it?
It does.
Very quickly.
Fantastic. My dog's
So,
trying to get under the blanket. Sorry.
Like I said, Jamie's just a wonderful fella. His the ties of closeness that he has with his family are, I mean, it's inspirational. And the way his family interacts together is something everybody should strive for. And I'm really serious when I say, please go find Metal Sharxs and subscribe to their channel. They work very hard on the videos and very hard on the editing because there's a lot of history involved in his videos. So please take a little time, do yourself a favor, go subscribe to Metal Sharxs.
Yes.
So, guess who's coming up now?
I know who it is.
Why don't you bring them on, Miss Tiffany?
Okay, so this is a father-daughter duo. Their YouTube channel is Diggin' Duo, and they are fantastic. So Mike is the dad, and Emma is the daughter. And we have
Hey, Tiffany, you got it right this time.
I feel so. I'm going to apologize as soon as she comes on the screen.
Let's bring them on, shall we? There we go. And from now on, Emma, you got to be Emily. That's all.
I'm sure she don't. It's okay, Tiffany. I mean, it happens.
I have to tell everybody. So I sent them an email, right? And I was talking to Ronnie and I was typing and it's kind of you to put the names in. And I said something to Ronnie, blah, blah, and Emma. And I typed in the name Emily, right? And I'm thinking, I didn't even know light bulbs went off, and I sent it, right? So Mike is so funny. He sends a response, and it said something to the fact of, I'm sure Emily would be great on, but I'd really like to have Emma on.
So, Mike, we're never going to let Tiffany live it down. You know,
No, but
that's just how we roll. You
It's
know,
not like she said the name George. I mean, it was close. You know, anybody could make that mistake. It wasn't. I just wanted to make sure that when she got on, that she said Emma instead of Emily. That's all. You know?
I felt so bad. I mean, I really did. I did, because if the world does not know about you two, you guys are fantastic. Ronnie and I, before we even started our YouTube channel, we were watching you guys.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it was fascinating, everything you guys had done and accomplished. Number one as father and daughter, but number two,
The stuff you find.
are absolutely incredible.
And I'm still jealous because I know Emma's found a couple, or at least one gold coin. I remember, and I was so mad. I was like, "What the heck?"
Wait, you were mad. I've been doing this for 25 years. She's
Right.
doing it like, well, at the time she was doing it for 6 or 7. I mean, you know, some people just they have to be walking over it. She has that luck, and that's, you know.
Well,
Right,
at
right.
first she wasn't even very excited about it. She was looking at it like,
Yeah, she didn't.
I think she was shocked.
I'm just like jumping up and down, going, "Oh my
She
god!"
wasn't sure. I don't think she was sure because it wasn't a U.S. coin; it was a Turkish coin,
Right.
and she didn't really know.
Right.
I didn't really know at first either.
Yeah.
I guessed Turkish coin when I was looking at it. I don't know how that happened, and then it ended up being 25 kurush or something like that, which is still incredible.
That's amazing.
Still wow.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's do introductions, because we're talking ahead of time, and like people that don't know you guys, I really want them to check out you two and what you're doing, because every family needs to watch you guys. So my first question is, could you both introduce yourselves? Tell me the names of the social medias that you would like people to check out to find you guys, and then we'll go on from there. So,
well, I think I'm Mike, and I think that's Emma. So
yes.
Not Emily, but Emma.
you could say, you can actually say hi to
Okay.
Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma.
Hi, Mike. And we're Digging Duo, and we typically just use YouTube. That's really just about it. And can I just mention, Tiffany and Ron, we just really started recording because people like don't understand. At first I started recording because I was afraid I was going to forget really her reaction.
Yeah.
Screaming, I got a silver. I mean, she was screaming, running across the field, and I had just looked up. I'm like, I think I hear something. You know, when you have your headphones on, you're like, is that my daughter? And I see her running at me, and I couldn't forget. I never forget that face. So I said, oh man, I got to start recording this because I think I'm going to forget it. But anyway, just typically just YouTube. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, think about it, Mike. Think about that. When the day comes when they have grandchildren that are old enough to see that,
Yeah.
how special is that going to be?
Yeah, I think about that a lot. I actually do. I do.
We did have a question off YouTube from Diggin Canuck.
Oh, hi, Liz.
She wants to know who is more competitive, Mike
Oh,
or Emma?
Probably me.
Yeah, probably you.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah. She's not probably anything. No, really. I think she got a little from me though. But I remember in the beginning, I could not get her to leave if I found like 2 mercs and she's not leaving. We're not leaving the park. And it was like 5 or 6 times, Emma, please, we have to go. Emma, please, we have to go. And she's like, one more. And of course, that one more ended up being, something sweet. But yeah, it's I think she got most of it for me. I don't know if you guys realize in the beginning, if you remember, if you go back, we used to have a point system.
Yes.
Yes, I do remember something about that.
One of these days, I'm going to post it. It was like 1 point for a Wheatie. It was
Yep.
it was 3 points for an Indian 1899 and older,
Right.
or vice versa. It was 4 point. I don't know, but it was a really. I thought it was a pretty elaborate point system, but we stopped it. I think you might know why.
Yeah.
Me so
Yeah.
You were
bad.
getting buried, weren't you, Mike?
It was bad. It was like 400 to like 20, 25 or 50. I was like, all right, that's it. That's it. No more-
Well, I
Well,
loved it.
you know what really makes the videos to me is when she finds something. It's that smile. She's got a magnetic smile. I have to tell you,
Yeah,
holding it up, and to see that smile,
yeah.
and you can just see the glee in her eyes.
That's what I meant when I said, Jeff, that I did not want to forget it. And I would look up and I guess I have to agree.
And
You know,
Emma,
because Mike, as a parent, those are the times that you live for to
Yeah.
see that in the eyes of your children. So,
Yeah, I wish every dad could really have
Oh, yeah,
this this experience with their kids. It's just
yeah. We wouldn't necessarily want to wish the beating that you're taking,
no.
on them, but
And then I can't even touch my own fine sometimes.
right. She's like, sweet.
gimme, gimme, and then it's hysterical because she has to know what it is. And
Right.
there are some times when she finds an amazing coin and she tells me about it before I even turn the camera on.
Mhm.
Em, why can't you wait? I wanted to see your reaction. Let's look at it together. No, she got to know what it is immediately. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I get it. She's 15 now. She was a lot younger. She started doing this when she was 7.
See, that was where we were going to go. I was going to ask her personally, because we've watched you two for some time. We've watched you go from a very young girl to a more mature, younger woman. And so I was going to ask you, how long have you been detecting?
Yeah, so I started at about like 6 or 7, but my dad would like detect, right? And then I would dig the hole.
well, that's good training, wasn't it, Mike?
It
Right.
was, and what kid did not? If I told her, remember, there was a quarter or there was a dime, 6 inches down right here. Please, pull it out. And she had her own pinpointer too. And when she found it, she was just astounded. She's like, I cannot.
Yeah. They go after it like a honey badger.
Yeah, yes, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
So where's your guys' hunting territories?
Yeah.
We're typically in the New York area.
Mhm.
We'll go into Brooklyn, into Queens, and some of the parks. I mean, you guys understand that the reason why we find as much as we do is these parks have been so frequented, as you could
Oh,
imagine how crowded New York is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're just people go, how do you find? Well, it's just in old fairgrounds, it's been frequented so much. It's incredible how much stuff is still there. It doesn't make any sense sometimes.
Yeah,
Right.
it is amazing because the growth of plants and trees may 50, 60, 100 years ago
Mhm.
it was open where people were frolicking in the park,
Right.
and then it's overgrown now. So, and if they cut it back, I mean, it's amazing. But yeah, just think about how many. Of course, the New York metro area, that whole area, that's been just tremendously crowded for hundreds of years. So
Yeah.
Right.
But I just want to mention one more thing. It's weird because this just brings to mind that I was digging a hole, and a gentleman was walking his bicycle by me, and he goes, "Excuse me," and he goes, "Let me ask you something. When you find something, do you put it back in the hole?" And I was like, "No way." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "How is there still stuff here?" So I laughed when I heard that because I realized that he meant, how in the hell are there still things here? Because it's not like fishing and things grow, fish,
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Produce.
And I understood what he meant. It's just, I guess it's just that, there's so many things there still yet to be found 7, 8, 9 inches down. Don't forget, guys, we dig most of the good finds we find are at least 8 to 9 inches down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we go really low and slow in pounded areas, and we have to dig up the junk, to find, the good stuff. And it takes time, man. It really,
Yeah,
really,
it really does. They say, well, it's called dirt fishing. No, we don't throw back the ones we can't keep. So
yeah, I thought that was, I'll never forget when he asked me that, because he couldn't believe that there was still stuff here. He goes, I used to be 20 years
well,
ago.
people that have not been exposed to it at all, they would think that,
Yeah.
they just get amazed. Well, my wife gets amazed at how much money we find
Right.
that she says, I can't believe people lose all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I've heard that there are more coins in the ground than are in circulation right now.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that for a
Which is
minute. I
insane.
don't doubt that for a minute.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what I'm really impressed with, both of you, but with Emma, is her knowledge of when she has a find.
Mm.
She is very knowledgeable about years. She's very knowledgeable about what types of metals they are, where it came from, and she has the most incredible eyesight.
Yes.
And so, Emma, are you into history, or is it just something that you've picked up on because you've done it since you were so young, or both?
Well, it depends on the type of history, because I'm pretty bad at history, but when it comes to coins and stuff like that,
Right.
I got that pretty quickly.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite things to find? Both of you. What's your favorite things? What type of hunters would you consider yourself being?
I like to say coins.
Yeah.
People ask, hey, do you go to the beach? And we're like, we really don't know. A lot of guys do. But I always say, look, I don't really want to find something that somebody dropped last week. I'm not really into that. I mean, it's nice if I found a Rolex or a diamond. We found something really sweet. But we love the old coins and the history. Like if there's a spill, I want to know the story behind that spill. Like somebody was laying here and dropped 3 coins in 1880 around that time.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I guess it's more the history of it.
Right.
I'm the same way.
So Ronnie's that way, but we have the luxury of we've been lucky enough to find all of our relics dating from the 1600 forward on our beach. From shipwrecks. Mhm.
Wow, that is so cool.
So Ronnie loves beach hunting, where I would rather go up into the parks or the mountains. But
Mm.
he loves coins, I love relics. So we kind of have the best of both worlds in Oregon.
Where do you guys hunt, if you don't mind me asking?
In Oregon. So we live in Oregon. We live on the North Oregon coast. Do you know where they filmed the movie Goonies? If you haven't seen it, Emma, it's a Goonies cult classic. We hunt at that rock. We are true Goonie people.
Oregon, a shipwreck in Oregon. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Quite a few of them.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was rough seas up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Still really rough.
Still rough.
So we've been really fortunate. I mean, I remember the first time I held something that was dated 1888 that I pulled from the ocean. It literally sat me down. I mean, it was just, and I'm like you, I wanted to know everything about it, everything, because it was just.
It is still. It's just cool to pull something out of the ground 100 years old.
Well, like Emma's
100 years old.
gold coin. My best find that I like is my 3 gold teeth that I found that are from the 1800s on the same beach.
Out of 3 different holes.
I found them all in the same day too.
Wow.
That's so
Yeah.
And they carbon
They're in
dated.
the museum.
Right.
Yeah.
So they carbon dated them, and they're from the same individual, a bridge and 2 crowns.
Yeah.
And they're dated from about 1700 to 1800.
See, I'd like to know. That's amazing. I'd like to know the story how those got knocked out of his mouth.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm sure they died. And I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
like
Okay.
slam up the rock.
Or
That's
they would just, one guy said, "Hey, you," and
Yeah.
right.
my
So
whiskey, and it just, you know,
right.
Yeah.
Did he die like when the ship crashed,
I mean,
or was
we'll
he a
never know.
survivor?
I wish we did. But
Right. Right. So
Well, you know, somebody may have pounded him to get if there was gold in those teeth, Ronnie, somebody may have pounded him to take his teeth to go sell it too. You never know.
instead of finding teeth this year, I want to find a gold coin still. So
right.
that's my goal.
well, good luck, Ronnie. I hope you. I really, really hope you do. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we want to find a U.S. gold coin. I mean, a
Yeah.
gold coin is a gold coin, but we're dying to find a U.S. gold coin. I mean,
Right.
Right.
you know, I'm hoping
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Fine. Each of you, what would you consider to be something that you will forever? You said this is the best thing that I feel I've done. Not monetary, but
you know, we thought about this for a few
And I
minutes. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I just, you know, our best find, I would say the gold coin. But I did find, I don't know if you guys seen it. I did find a flowing hair half dime,
yep.
and that to me is my best find because it was $17.95.
I've never even seen one until your video.
Huh?
Yeah, I've never seen one.
Oh my
until
God!
we
I
watched that
didn't even know what it was. If you
I
remember,
didn't either.
if you know, I don't know if you know, Greg Jackpot G-Lars was with us at the time, and
Yep.
he's the one that actually saw it. I didn't even. I thought maybe it was another real. If you look at the video, because I just found a farthing, a 1749 farthing, and then I found a real that same night, and then the third, we were like, one more hole, we will leave it, and I thought it was a button. It came up like 1920 on the Knox, and I still can't believe it. So yeah, I guess your gold coin and my flowing hair.
Yeah, that was
Yeah. I'm just amazed with the coins that you do find. I'm
Right.
so jealous because that's what I love finding is old silvers. And we just don't get to find too many here, you
not
know.
here. Right.
You see that jealousy can turn that right into some positive enthusiasm.
All right.
Right.
Because when we sit home and we're thinking about going, and we usually go quite a bit. We go at night. We go anytime we can go. Right now, she has a laptop here. She's doing the homework while you guys were, you know, chatting. I was watching, and she's over there typing away. And but you know, any time we can go, we're gonna go. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
Well, I've got a question for Emma. Emma, I'm sure that all your friends think you were just the coolest thing because you're a treasure hunter, don't they? How do your friends feel about it?
They're like supportive of it, but I haven't really told many. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they like it. They followed me. They subscribe to us. So.
Well, I was going to say that's got to be pretty neat. You know, all your friends talking about your YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, they kind of tease you a little bit
Yeah.
What grade are you in,
about
Emma?
being a superstar and all that kind
Tiffany asked your question.
Emma, what grade are you in right now?
I'm in 10.
10th. Oh, wow. Gosh. You were so little. Now, like, you're 10th grade.
I know. No kidding. It just happened all of a sudden. I was just looking at when you guys were talking, we were looking at the questions and we were going over some of the videos, and I just happened to go back to like, you know, 2016 and 2017, and you know, faces on, and you know, her teeth were all. It was, and her voice was so squeaky. It was so adorable, man.
I know. Well, and people that don't subscribe to you guys, it's worth going back to the very beginning because it's consistently incredible finds that you guys have always done. The relationship between the two of you has evolved into this fantastic relationship that I'm sure every father, Mike, would
Love to have.
would
With their
want
children.
with their daughter or their children, period. So
Yeah.
I think that people, if they're not subscribed to you guys, they really need to, because you guys set an example for so many families and so many father-daughter relationships.
Thank you very much, Tiffany.
Yeah, I agree with that. You're an inspiration to others out there
Yeah.
that are possibly looking for a way to connect with their children or their parents. And this is a really good way for you guys to bond. You're making memories that, lifelong memories. And Emma, when you're grown and have children, you'll be telling them about it.
Yeah.
And, and just think about this, Mike, your YouTube videos, even your great grandchildren are going to be able to see you guys together.
Yes, I know. I think about that. That's why when you mentioned that, Jeff, Atlas Obscura, they're I'm not sure what you would call them, but they make little movies like 3, 4, 5 minute clips.
Mhm.
They did one of us in 2018. It's called. I mean, if you just searched Facebook Treasure Hunting Brooklyn,
Uh-huh.
or even Google searched Treasure Hunting Brooklyn, you would see it. And in that video, she mentions that one day, when I get older, I'm going to take my kids and you can come with us. And I'm thinking, here I am, Grandpa, I'm going to be in like my little walker and scooting along with the.
I got a friend of mine that does. He still detects, and he has to take his walker. We call it Blue Thunder.
Yeah, I have to figure out a way to attach the detector to the.
Well, you can take it and kind of,
Yeah, something like
there's
that.
a will, there's a way.
By then they'll have developed something fantastic, like holographic detectors. We can just see
Well,
right
you'll
there.
have those hover shoes. Hover
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah, maybe the whole walker could be the detector, like the whole bottom.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
you can do that. You could do that. Yeah, that'd be good.
Somebody write that.
Somebody's gonna get it.
Hey, don't tell Knock to Macro. They'll come up with one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I
You know?
do appreciate it when people go out with their kids and they do mention that you guys inspire. I think that's great. I really do. I think we both think that's fantastic, because when those kids get a hold of it and they really, really grasp it, I look forward to every time we go out, and I know now she's getting older and things are starting to change, and I'm sure you guys know what I mean. And
We've got 2 grown daughters. We understand.
Well, it will change, but I don't think it's going to change 100% because, the time that you guys are together is very special and it'll always be that way.
yes, yes.
And the wonderful thing about young people, Emma's age, and even a little older, grasping the electronics of the metal detectors, that's a no-brainer.
Mm.
Back when we were starting, we're going, hey, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you're going back and studying the manual. You're going, hey, Dad, let me show you. Tone breaks. That's no problem. We'll get that.
Yeah. We started with White's with Spectrums, White's XLT Spectrum too.
Yeah.
And I used that for about 15 years, and it was a real tough transition. Now that you mention it, to the Mind Lab, but yeah, that's what she got started on. She got my old one, and I bought another one, and then we ended up buying the Mind Labs. And actually, we actually really love I use a Knox and a CTX, and she uses a Knox 800 and a E-Track too. Every so often.
Yeah, the E-Track's a killer machine. It's a little heavy, but it's a killer machine.
That really, really is a silver magnet. That machine.
Oh yeah. I found that the E-Track was better on silver than the CTX.
I would say yes. A lot of people do agree, because it's what it is. It's the fluty sound.
Yeah,
it's that high pitch.
Killer.
It's a little different on the E-Track than it is on the CTX.
Yeah, very much killer. Now wait till you guys get your hand on a new Deus too.
Yeah, I hear people talking about it. Yep.
Oh yeah, you need to try one out. Just to try it out. But there's all kinds of detectors out there and all kinds of hunters. And I tell you what, you guys are an inspiration to people out there. You really are.
Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate that. We really do.
Right. I really we have enjoyed watching you guys for a long time, and I was so glad when you said yes that you guys would come, and I was like, I'm so excited.
We've never ever turned down an invitation for this, because we kind of look forward to it.
Right.
We actually look forward to it. We think it's fun. I mean,
And
some
you
people
get to
have questions. They want to know.
Right. Right. And you
Yeah.
get to meet people from everywhere.
Yeah.
And people get to meet you guys. And that's what I think is so important, is people actually seeing the two of you and how long you've been doing it together. And the relationship is fantastic.
And you get to see Emma without a hat.
Right.
I was going to ask her where her
Yeah.
hat was.
Yeah. And me, I actually have hair, so it's a little thin, but it's there.
Yeah, but got to have those hats on. Keeps the dirt out of the hair.
Yeah,
Right.
and it just makes the headphones fit better.
So
Right. It does. Mine too.
just before we go, because we've eaten up this hour plus, and it just flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What would you like everybody to know about you guys?
Well, I don't know. What do you
I
think?
don't know.
Emma, you like pizza? No.
Well, besides, of course, we like pizza.
And it ain't deep dish pizza either.
Yeah, we're very avid softball players. Yeah,
Yeah, we are too.
my season starts next week, and hers. She's been playing ever since she's like 4. She's been coming to my games when she was 3, 4, 5 years old, and now she's a great pitcher, a great fielder.
Is she a pitcher?
Yeah, she's got a catch.
Oh, I bet you that ball cracks when you release it, doesn't it, Emma?
Yeah, you know what I attribute a lot of her arm strength to? Yes,
Metal detecting.
swinging an E-track.
Yeah.
That thing is not that's
That's
not
like
right.
going to the gym.
Yeah. Yeah, she
Yeah.
so we're really big softball players too. That's
Well, I'll
what
tell you what, there is
position?
nothing like watching, fast pitch softball when you
Yeah.
got a pitcher that knows how what's going on.
yeah.
And boy, when they release that ball at the hip, it just cracks.
Yes, it does.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And what position do you play, Mike?
I play
What-
third.
Third. Ronnie was a catcher. I was a catcher, and we were both second basemen. So we had to
Nice.
alternate on teams.
Oh,
So
you guys-
we had a daughter that was a pitcher and a daughter that was a catcher. So
Isn't that great? Honestly, I think I still get excited when I walk onto the diamond. I don't know. I just do.
us too.
It's
Every
just a little
time.
slower now when I walk on, but
You know,
Yeah,
the
I
beautiful
hear
thing
you.
about it, Mike, is you probably played when you were a kid
Yes.
and you can still play. So that's the beauty of it.
Yes. Yeah.
know?
I know. I don't know how
It'll be
much
the same
time
way
I've
with
got.
Emma with metal detecting.
But third's
Really?
easy. I mean, third. I started in left field, and left
Those
field is a
come
really
cracking down third.
yeah. Left field's a really tough position because there's a lot of running. I mean, it's just. But third, I just stand there now like a mailbox, and I don't really. I got a shortstop who's amazing, who dives in the hole, and I'm like, you got everything in the hole, and if it's for me, I got it.
Yeah, and the hole is from second base all the way to about 4 feet from third.
Yeah, yeah,
Within the reach.
yeah, yeah.
So, well, I tell you what, we just absolutely loved having y'all with us tonight. It's just been a treat that, and I think everybody in the chat and everybody watching feels the same way. I would just encourage you people out there watching to go check out Diggin' Duo. You will not be sorry just to see the reaction on Emma's face and how these two meld together as a father daughter. It's what everybody out there should aspire to do because it's magic. It is just absolutely magic. So Mike, Emma, it was our honor to have you with us tonight, and we say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that sentiment too. That was really, really nice.
Thank you.
And just keep on digging, and Emma, keep on finding and just beat him like a drum.
Everybody, they don't want me to find anything. They want to
Emma, just look at it this way. And before you go out, say, Pops, I'm fixing to beat you like a redheaded stepchild with freckles and a hump, girl.
well, I'm getting her next time now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thanks, guys.
Well, Jeff, Ronnie, and Tiffany, I really appreciate you guys, putting us on too. We really do. We enjoyed this.
Yeah, we'll get you back soon at sometime after the summer so you can, brag on it a little bit, Emma, what you found.
Yeah.
Tell them about your next gold coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Please,
that'd be
Ronnie.
great.
Yeah. Hopefully, Ryan, we'll be able to just go like this. Here it is.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
I'll just throw my hands up and say, I'm
Ronnie's
done.
Yeah, that's
No, I
it.
mean you showing us, but hey,
Yeah.
look, one of our friends, he's actually in the chat. He's Joe from Long Island Hardcore Detectorists. He actually found a colonial gold coin.
Oh,
Which is
Joe.
insane. I mean, my other friend Greg Jackpot, he's got like 3 or 4. That kid he's actually found an 8 real. I mean, who finds an 8 real? I know you saw Doug from Quarter Hoarder find one.
Yeah.
But he found the Carlos one, like 17.8. I don't know. It's just, but anyway, yeah, the guy Joe, he's in the chat. He actually he's a big he found a colonial gold coin.
Wow.
Right.
Does he have a channel? Does he have a
All
channel?
right, you guys know what you got to do.
Yeah.
You
Does
got to
Joe
do
have a
it. You
channel?
got to show him up. You got to both find one.
Yeah, that's the next
You know?
step. Yep.
All right, guys, stay in touch and let us know how you're doing. We'll keep following you.
Yes.
Every video that comes up, we'll be watching. And we thank you again for coming and spending some time with us.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks, man. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Good night.
Good night, guys.
So wonderful.
Yes, they are. And like I said, everybody should aspire to a relationship like Mike and Emma. And it
Right.
shows in their videos.
Right.
Just salt of the earth people. And, like I said, do yourself a favor. Go and subscribe to their channel, and you can watch just the look of sheer glee and happiness on Emma's face will make it well worth the trip.
Yep.
So, as far as what's coming up on Treasure Talk, we had to do a little shape shifting. Our guest that was coming on Monday on Treasure Talk got called away, and so we've got another royal treat for you. Casey with Excalibur Shovels is coming on, and he's going to debut a new Excalibur product on Treasure Talk Monday night. Now get over to the Treasure Talk or the entry on YouTube. It was the Bondi Treasure Hunter. You can enter on that and go to Facebook and enter on that one, or using all the same names. And what you might win is a Excalibur hand digger with the leather sheath and an Excalibur hat, a brand new hat.
Right.
And they'll be the color of your choice. So, and hopefully it'll be blue spade blue. But get over there and get entered and see if you can't do yourself some good. So we will be with Casey on Monday night.
Okay.
And then in April, we got some really good people coming up. So stay with us. And next week on Treasure Tales, let me get to I got my great Myers calendar. Nothing like a Myers metal detector's calendar. So next week we have Family Treasures.
Mm-hmm.
That's another just outstanding family treasure hunting group. You're going to love them.
Right.
And Cooper's Amputee Lifestyle. And you talk about somebody that's inspiring. If you remember back when we had Shane, the blind detectorist from See It My Way, you thought he was inspiring. This guy's inspiring too. And guess who else will be back next week?
We will.
That's right. So we're going to have another good time. So like we always say, treasure tales. There's a million of them out there. Every one of them's important. Every one of them has meaning, and every one of them is unique. So we want you to come on our show, Treasure Tales, and tell us your treasure tale like these people have. Everybody wants to hear it, and it's very important. So please get up with me and come on Treasure Tales and tell the world about your treasure tale. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Ronnie. Thanks, Tiffany. I love you. Good night, everybody. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
All right. Bye.